Last time we had you on, obviously you were talking to us about you discovered that you had breast cancer and you'd had the news that the tumour had shrunk. For those who maybe missed the show where you were explaining the moment where you discovered that you had a lump, talk us through from that moment.
I was doing the Hairspray tour and I was in my dressing room getting ready for the second show, and my dresser came into my dressing room. She was really upset and she was crying, and I said to her, obviously she's my dresser, so I spend a lot of time with her, so we grew very close. So I was talking to her and I said, what's wrong with you, Stella? Is everything okay? And she told me that a friend of hers had just been diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and she was really upset. And, you know, she was dressing me, and I thought, oh, let me just have a quick feel and check myself. And I rubbed my arm underneath my breast, and I felt a lump there. I didn't think anything of it. And I just literally put on my blonde mouth wig and went on stage and did the show. That was our Christmas season, and so it was kind of like just after Christmas. And so we finished for a break on, I think it was the 2nd of January. I came back to London and I was having a shower, and again, I felt that the lump was still there. And so that was like, the show had finished on the Saturday. The Sunday, I felt the lump. The Monday, I got on the phone to the doctor. Yeah. And she was like, get down here straight away. I says, look, I feel a lump. I don't know what it is.
Was it under your arm or on your breast?
No, it was on my breast. It was at the side of my breast. And it felt like a garden pea at the time. It felt, you know, like a frozen garden pea, that sort of size. And so I went to the doctor and I was like, you know, there's this little thing. And she, bless her, my doctor, you know, I've been with her for years, and she was like, OK, Brenda, yeah, I'm going to send you to the hospital. And it was that, you know, she was very calm, and I was like, just sitting there thinking, well, what's going on? And she sent me to the hospital on the Wednesday. I had a mammogram. Then they said I needed to have an ultrasound. And then I had a biopsy. And it was the biopsy that was really uncomfortable. That really hurt. They put a needle in and take fluid out from there. So, you know, it was uncomfortable, but there was somebody squeezing my hand all the time, all the way. And then they said it would take about 10 days for the results to come back. And that following Friday, they phoned me up and told me I had stage 3 breast cancer. And then, yeah.
I mean, at what point did the enormity of it hit you? I mean, I was interested when you said you thought nothing of it, because I'm the opposite. I'm a bit paranoid about things, so I think the worst in every situation. But in all of that process, was there a moment that you thought, oh?
I think when I actually got the phone call to tell me that I had stage 3 breast cancer was when it all... Because I think I've tried to stay positive throughout the whole experience, and so I'm kind of a person that if something's happening, I kind of maybe try and put it out of my mind so that I can get on with what I've got to get on. And at that time I was doing Motormouth on Hairspray, and it's a really big role, and you know, I didn't want to be all down and everything with all the cast on the show.
Did you tell the cast? Cause,
I told the cast. I'd had to let the producers know, because obviously I had to start chemotherapy, and so obviously that would mean I'd be missing some shows. So I had to tell them, and I wanted them to tell the cast, and I also wanted the cast to know, because I felt that me as a person, I needed that kind of support. And I can't even begin to tell you the immense appreciation that I have for the cast and the producers and everybody, and even you know, people that I don't even know. After coming on the show the last time, I had a couple of people tweeting to say thank you so much for telling us your story. I've been living with a lump, and watching you has made me want to now phone the doctor.
I was just wondering, you know, when you were saying about finding the lump and that, and just for viewers at home, especially when you said your dressmaker's friend was 25, young people, you know, and people who haven't got a clue, like me, I don't really search my breast, to be honest, and it was only after reading and hearing about you, I was like, I really need to check. Would you mind showing me, and just so people who don't know at home can see how
she wants me to cop a finger.
You know, because it's important and for men too, just so we know how to do it properly, and then everyone knows.
I mean, you know, there's probably so many different ways of doing it. When I was doing it, I stood up and I literally...
Yeah, you're right.
You have one hand up, and then with the opposite hand, you...
Do that.
Obviously, you feel from there, and you go all the way round, and you go under as well.
And also, Stephanie, be aware, obviously you're pregnant at the moment, so your breasts will be changing.
Mine are going to be different.
There will be...
But I will do that, and then at least every, you know, people...
Every couple of weeks, every month, just keep checking.
I've never ever really done it at all.